The state auditors, I'm sorry for not clarifying that. She's part of the state auditors.
Well,
Yeah,
let me ask this question then. Has the equipment been purchased already?
some of the equipment has been
Wait a minute.
purchased. Yes.
It has?
Yes.
But we haven't voted on it. We haven't approved it. The legislative body has not
So
approved
Councilman
it.
Martin,
No, I'm just asking the question.
Councilman Martin,
Yes.
let me give you this explanation.
Okay.
You and I have talked about this at length before. Your permanent appropriations are already passed, right? They're already passed. The expenditures fall within the permanent appropriations. For the sake of transparency, coming from council, I said I would be transparent and try to be as forthcoming as possible. I put all this here for your thumbs up, right?
That's why it's a resolution.
Yes, that's why it's a resolution and not an ordinance. Grass is being cut already, right? With the new equipment.
So we do have the equipment.
Yes, the light poles, the lamps, they were purchased.
Already purchased.
Yes,
Already purchased?
that stuff's
That's correct,
purchased.
because remember the engineer that, the electrician that we had the light poles, I believe under Norton, that's when they had purchased 100 and some odd light poles, and we were asked as counselors to give different streets in our wards, the streets of higher priority, that needed the light poles. So for instance, I had a couple of streets, 137th over by Woodward that I knew, 133rd. Those light poles were purchased when Mayor Norton was in. What ended up happening, the reason why these light poles weren't installed was because the electrician, the only one that we had, passed away.
And
Do you
still
recall
didn't
that?
have, still didn't have the bulbs. You did not have the equipment.
Irregardless, I'm just stating that some of that equipment was purchased. So when we're talking about the light poles now, we're talking about the appropriations that were already finalized from November.
Councilman
Okay,
Martin.
wait a minute. My
You can
question.
hold up city services if you'd like. People would like to have their streets lit. People would like to have
I
their
know
own cuts.
we'll get the blame, but what are we voting for if everything is
Everything's
purchased?
not.
The reason why, okay, so this is the understanding that I got from the administration. This is the reason why it's coming to council at this point in time. In order for the mayor or whatever to operate under contracts, of course, we have to vote if it's over a certain amount. This money was already appropriated and approved by council. So according to him, he's stating that he wanted to send down resolutions to make us aware so we can all look like we're on the same team. If he wants to buy a fire truck for the city, he wants council, if we approve it, to look like we're all working together. And that's what we're trying to do. That was an intent on his part, honestly.
We're a team.
Okay, so
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with trying to make that statement, and there's nothing wrong with working towards that. That traditionally in the city, we haven't seen the council and the administration. But everything that we did in committee,
So the same thing.
everything that we did in committee was under directives of what some of the residents had said that they would like to see. Councilman Martin took that into consideration. The administration itemized the things that were stated. As far as the light poles, like I stated before, those were already purchased, but
Those been laying there forever.
Right.
But now you need.
under the appropriations that we approved, they were able to buy the light poles.
But you still don't have the equipment, and you gotta hire somebody to put those poles up, and that's a contract between some electrician or some electrical company to do that.
And that's fine. So
But that's what they're saying.
we need to read these.
So what I'm trying to get a feel for what is the feeling for the body? What do you?
But it came out of your committee. You took it out of committee, so you were okay with it to take it out of committee so we could put it as a first read and as a second read, which it is now.
What?
It was in your committee originally. So if you wanted it to stay tabled in the committee, and if it wasn't appropriate to be a first read as it was 2 weeks ago, then be what it was supposed to be for agenda last Thursday because we didn't have a quorum. So you took it out of your committee. I'm asking, did you feel okay enough to take it out of committee to present it to council?
And see, Ernest Smith is a sponsor, right?
Yeah, but
You
But
was
came out of
the
health. Okay, but
And you had a committee meeting about it.
I'm confused.
Do you recall your
Recall.
committee meeting?
You know, I don't wanna, I wanna do the right thing here.
You have to do it right.
Right, the light poles, we need the light poles,
We'll take it to a vote.
You need to know whether those are light poles you're talking about now or light poles.
repairing
This is
of
still
light
agenda
poles.
review.
And Barbara just talked about we need
This is still agenda
someone
review.
to install, we don't have any money to install that. What's up with
But
that,
that's with the
Mayor?
administration, whatever.
So what I'm sorry?
Somebody installing the light
So
poles?
as you'll remember, our former employee passed away on the job.
Okay,
Right? So now we've had serious challenges trying to hire someone else with the capacity to put up the light poles,
mhm.
right?
So we don't have any.
Does it have something to do with the rate of pay that the city's able to offer?
Absolutely does. And finding someone with that expertise at that rate of pay. So one of the things I'm trying to do here is to simply contract it out to someone. Now, I'm sure that Nate and Barbara are well aware of this. My 3 new counselors, you may not be. And I really hate to say it, because I really want this to be a team and a group effort, and everyone working together. But the state law, as the executive, I can enter contract under $50,000.
Right.
Right? This is.
I have no problem with that.
Please, I'm trying to work together. And
Well, look, here's, let's move on this.
we got grass needs to be cut. We got streets need to be lit up. We got streets need to be
For the
swept.
city.
We need to get this stuff done. Or we could just leave it in committee.
Do
and
we
just
have
keep
the right
talking about it.
equipment?
Oh, absolutely, it's the right equipment.
When
Absolutely.
city officials
Listen.
pick the equipment out,
It is absolutely the right equipment. Right?
you are putting your men in danger. Wrong equipment for the city. Think about it. You are our legislators.
He waited 15 minutes the other night. So what difference does it
What I'm
make?
saying is your time.
Well,
Just adjourn.
You're confused
And then we
because you
can
don't know whether you're
Yea or nay?
doing something on old piece of legislation or what's before this council now. And
council president, acting council president, whatever the title is, what do we do after all these years so this stuff flows better, that we do it right? Our role here is to help this city move forward, to provide services to the citizens. When I saw this, we know we need light poles, we know we need all that. You know, I'm not gonna be dumb up here, you know, but I always talk about process and procedure. Have we done it? Have we
Yes.
followed?
We've had it in committee. We've had this in committee. We've discussed it in committee, in your committee meeting. This came up. Mr. Gomez, you brought it up. A lot of other people, I think, brought it up as far as itemizing everything.